It's been incredibly hilarious to watch people try to spin this DCEU trinity of Supergirl, Batgirl, and Wonder Woman as a positive thing for the DCEU main universe for movies. That it's a great thing. It's exciting. This is what people are going to want. And, you know, if you don't like this, well, you're just some kind of an istophobe. That's the only reason that you wouldn't accept that DC is replacing their two most iconic and popular characters for the most, I would say, iconic couple of characters in comics. I mean, they call this the Trinity for a reason. Like, these are the top characters in the DC Comics universe. Supergirl, or not Supergirl, excuse me, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. But no, we're gonna change it out. Even though Henry Cavill still is on record of wanting to play Superman, he would happily come back, no problem. All you'd have to do is sit down and write him a check and give him a contract, and he'd sign it. He's been very open about that. But no, we're not going to bring him back. Instead, we're going to give you discount Supergirl and Batgirl and Wonder Woman. Because that's what hardcore DC fans... It's been great watching people spin this. There's a couple of people that are the ultimate DC shills. No matter what DC does, they find reasons to make it a positive, and if you don't like it, well, you're just hateful and all of this shit. Not recognizing that this is just dumb. This is a dumb idea. And I'm not saying, like, you could, of course, still do a Batgirl movie. You could still do a Supergirl movie. How you could still have them run around. They're members of the Justice League. You can still do that. But they shouldn't be the Trinities. And I want to point out that this Flash movie is going to make it so that Superman never existed. It was always Supergirl. So, you know, this is going to be a sideshow. Now, what's funny is you have some of these Snyderverse people. Of course, you know, they're all against istophobia, but they don't like this move, but they have to still kind of simp. So they say stuff like this: the DCU incel videos have started, and all I can do is sit back and observe. Now, this dude is supposedly a fan of the Snyderverse, so you would think that he would get it. And if you're even a fan of the Snyderverse, I would assume you're a fan of comics. I would think you would understand that taking out two of the most popular characters and replacing them is kind of stupid. But no, it's incel if you don't like that. And then, of course, Grace Randolph doing her best to try to make people love what DC is doing. Takes a panel from the Flashpoint comic, which I think it's pretty safe to assume they're not following anything from that book other than maybe he's going to go back to save his mom. This is so when Flash did that in the book, it reset time, and during that reboot of the universe, like, Superman was in a cage with a red Krypton sun thing in the background here, so he couldn't use his powers, and he was pretty much like stuck in a government experiment. And like, he was really skinny and stuff like that. This is not what's going to be the Supergirl. Like, that's not what's going to happen here. Okay. But she's doing her best to try to make DC Comics look good. She wants to stay with the chivalry. I don't really have anything against her, but I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with just admitting that this is stupid. Come on, Grace. But one person I do want to point out that's on damage control, like, pickup, is Kevin Smith. So Kevin Smith's out there doing his best to defend the replacement of Batman to Batgirl, saying, why wouldn't you sign off on this? This is amazing. He probably cried when he talked about it. Said, oh, Michael Keaton's coming back. That's my Batman. Well, he's my Batman as well, but he's also like 70 years old. I really think that this is going to ruin that character. I'd rather him not come back, to be honest. And I was initially really excited for this, but the more I think about it, especially with these leaks, the more that I think it's a mistake. I gotta be honest. I think it's a mistake. But he's on here talking about Batman Beyond. He says, obviously, Matt Reeves is doing a very different from the DCEU movies version of Batman. So you can't get him. So it makes sense. You need a veteran, an older guy, if you're going to do this Batman Beyond version of Batgirl, where she's kind of Terry McGinnis in training, and he's the grizzled old vet or something. I co-sign it because that was my Batman. That was our Batman. I mean, Adam West was my first Batman, but Michael Keaton was a wonderful Batman. And I think it's crazy seeing people on Twitter going after this decision. Okay, this guy's podcast I think it's still called Fat Man. And it was kind of like a Batman podcast from what I remember, but it's kind of shifted. Now it's just Fat Man and something. And this dude is supposedly a humongous Batman fan. And he doesn't understand why people are upset about this. Number one, if you're going to do Batman Beyond, why don't you just do Batman Beyond? Instead of this stupid, we're going to take Batgirl and make her Batman. Why don't you just get Terry McGinnis? I mean, you could do some things with that alone, but at least he would be Terry McGinnis and not Barbara Gordon. That makes no sense. Okay. You don't understand why people are upset about that? Replacing Superman and Batman and the decisions being made there? I think you do, but the problem is Kevin Smith is sold out completely. Anyone that's seen Masters of the Universe understands how much this man has sold out. He's a huge sellout. He's kind of become a hypocrite. Kevin Smith is Access Hollywood now, doing anything he can to get work in goodie bags. And, you got to throw some tears down to let people know. I'm waiting for him to show his tears for Michael Keaton. I'm sure that's coming too. Such a sellout, man. He used to be a great man, make great movies, be kind of edgy, but now he's just another corporate shill. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. They're usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.